Kirby, do you have a plan for Jake Fromm, trying to get him some game action?
Yeah, there's no set plan there. Again, Jacob Eason's our quarterback. If something happens to Jacob Eason, then obviously we'd be ready to play Jake Fromm. He's been working as our number 2 quarterback.
Inside the 5, now he runs to the right. He's in the end zone. To the 5, running far side. He'll keep it and run out of bounds at the 10-yard line. Now
we got a break too. Hit a play
out of bounds. Eason is up hobbling, and that's not good. They may have to get number 11 ready.
And here he comes.
Jake Fromm, the freshman.
You know, after our medical staff did x-rays and MRI during the game Saturday night, we found he's got a sprained left knee ligament, which is non-surgical. Not sure the length of time he'll be out, which I know you'll want to know, but we don't know that yet, and it'll be week to week. He was down a little bit, but he'll be back from it.
Just to clarify, Jacob will not play this week.
Just to clarify, Jacob will not play this week, but Jacob's going to be week to week from this point forward. We don't know how long it's going to be. It's going to be kind of week to week.
Let's do it.
We gonna attack today. Kirby Smart, all access. Sanford Stadium for the first game. Charter planes at the Notre Dame. Dawg Nation got the crowd going, playing Tennessee for the 5th game. We gonna attack today. Between the hedges where we play. They about to come to the state, but Mississippi sitting right in our way. They got the rankings in order. Jacksonville, Georgia, Florida. Then we go back to the state. Drive 2 hours away. Auburn Tigers who we play, then we go back to the old-fashioned hate. Georgia Tech is who we play, then we go back to the old Georgia way. We gon' attack today. Kirby Smart, all access.
Kirby Smart All Access is presented by Georgia's Own Credit Union. It's your future, own it. Also brought to you by AT&T. This segment of Kirby Smart All Access is brought to you by Nissan, proud supporter of college athletics. Shop ChooseNissan.com. Take on today.
I told you before we went out, you were the greatest group of guys as a football team that I've ever been around, and I love you. And I want to say it again, you're the greatest group of guys I've ever been around as a team, and I love you.
Got your goal.
To look up at the clock and see the seconds tick down with us being ahead and realizing that we have the ball game won. And I don't normally do that unless there's about 2 seconds left, but I have to admit with 5 seconds left I felt confident. And I remember Frank Ross, who was the captain of the team and is still one of the greatest captains we ever had, who keeps that team together. They're a very close group, turning to me and we hugged each other, and that was the start of a tremendous celebration.
Father God, we'd like to thank you for everything you've done for this team in 1980 and the first day of 1981. We'd like to thank you for bringing us together and helping us to achieve one of our goals that will stay with us throughout life. We ask you to take each and every one of us in this room and help us to have a glorious and healthy life ahead. In our name we pray, amen.
Quote, sea of red. All the Georgia people, the greatest majority of them anyway, that was in red, stormed the field, and next year they wouldn't let us do that anymore. But I think the Notre Dame people were quite stunned by this reaction, this reaction of emotions. I told them if they had waited 70 years to win their first national championship, they would understand the celebration. So it was just a great night. It will always be very, very special, and I am particularly pleased and excited about the fact that we are playing Notre Dame again.
Yeah, President. Well, we're #1 in the country. We appreciate you coming. I know you brought a lot of Georgia people with you, didn't you? No, get up, go around. Yeah, it was great. This is the way this team has been all year. It's been very special. Great. I'll sure do it. Thanks for coming. See you before long. Bye-bye.
And then we ended up with a great victory and then became the only undisputed national championship of 1980. And I'm pleased, extremely pleased that it's finally happening again. And I do believe that everybody in the state of Georgia that's a Bulldog fan is going to be at that game. I don't know if they're going to get in the game, but they're going to be there. So it's I think the Georgia people will be excited about a good opportunity to make it 2-0 against Notre Dame.
As I've said before, that this team personifies the word team more than any group that I've ever had the privilege of being associated with. So I'm glad to have the opportunity now to come back the next day to wake up and finally realize that it did indeed happen, that somehow, some way, as we have done all year, we found a way to win. And that's the way we won yesterday. Somehow, some way. And these Georgia fans that are all saying #1 are what it's all about. And we've had tremendous fans all year long. Yeah, I can still hear the ring on, as one side of the stadium says Georgia and the other side says Bulldogs. So my thanks to the greatest fans in the world, the Georgia Bulldogs.
This segment of Kirby Smart All Access is brought to you by Hyundai, proud supporter of college football and loyal fans everywhere.
On to Notre Dame now for us. We're excited to play a program of that much prestige, and they've got a very storied program of which our players have been made aware of and understand. They've got some really good football players. Jake Fromm's a mature freshman that's going to be able to take over the offense and hopefully go out and execute. He's got some good players around him. He's got to use those guys. Look across college football now, and we're not the only ones dealing with it. So you look at history, there's been teams that have had this happen before, and other guys got to step up and play, and everybody's got to play around him. Anytime you get injuries, especially at the quarterback position, it tests your mettle a little bit. And I think that's what this team will do. We've tried to put them through adversity throughout camp, throughout all season. It's the reason you do what you do. To be honest with you guys, these kids, they know Notre Dame's players. Where a long time ago, you didn't know Notre Dame's players unless you saw them on TV because you didn't get recruited with them. These kids went to all-star games with all those guys. They know all those players. The moment for most freshmen hasn't been too big, but certainly, when you go on the road, the environment changes. So you have to try to simulate that environment and make sure that they're calm and they play well. It's going to be a great challenge. We're going to get to find out a lot more about our defense because the backs are going to be bigger and faster. The quarterback's going to be bigger and faster. The offensive line's bigger. The wideouts, they're all 6'3", 6'4", 6'5". So the matchups are going to be different. It's going to be a lot different. So it's a great challenge for us defensively. But we're excited for it. We got 3 days to get prepared for it. And same thing on offense. We're excited, and we want special teams to continue to improve.
Have you ever been to South Bend?
Never really been to South Bend. Only seen it on TV. And I had the chance to go visit in high school, never did. And so this is going to be my first experience there.
I'm from South Florida, being from Miami. Like, the only, memories I truly have are the 30 for 30s that, they created, the Miami Hurricanes versus Notre Dame. But, after, watching those and seeing that tight rivalry, I was just fascinated with that program and so much history they have, a rich in history, a rich in tradition.
It's definitely a nice change up. We always
are playing in the South against other SEC teams, and this was time to go up north and experience a totally different atmosphere, a place with a lot of tradition, a lot of history, and to play against another team that has a very good football team, and you know, give them our best shot.
Good job yesterday. A few things to clean up right here.
Yeah, I like Coach Beamer a lot. He's a guy that, you know, he really makes sure that as a player you understand what's going on. I think he's a guy that gets me and how I learn, you know, and as a player that's you know, pretty much all you can ask for.
We're down there, tight ends. Tackle, tight end right. Come on, strike. There you go. That's where you get your hands this time. Now finish.
Coach Beamer brings a lot of intensity. He's always one to be around us, to encourage us, love on us, and you know, while he does bring a lot of intensity and get on to us, he also is very encouraging, and he knows how to coach his players.
How about Jack? Full cover, get into him. Hustle! Let's go!
Hey, today's a work day, baby. Hey, attention to details. Dawgs, that team ready. Dawgs, that team ready. Let's go.
Mentally, we got to be locked in on our game plan and our assignment. Each player got to hone in on their assignment this week.
I think really the keys to the game is not to make it bigger than it really is. They're just like us at the end of the day. You know, a lot of these guys got recruited to Georgia and, you know, wherever else, and, you know, they ultimately chose Notre Dame. So those guys, you know, they wake up and put their pants on, you know, just like we do. And really just keeping the main thing that, you know, we got to go out there and we got to execute. You know, just staying on track with what we want to do and executing our game plan and not making this game bigger than it is. You know, if we do what we're supposed to do, you know, we got a really good chance to win.
This segment of Kirby Smart All Access is brought to you by AT&T.
It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for these guys. You know, you get to go play at a historic place. Our players are jacked up, excited, ready to go, and this is really what college football is all about.
Four-quarter ball game and desire to be that way. Just like we said last week, 60 minutes. The time to walk out, by the time we get that puppy bus, we're going to let them know what Georgia football is all about. Make sure you understand that.
Coordinated pass rush, second contain, do your job. This is team defense. It's not about like one guy or me or you. It's all of us together. Yeah!
This is real easy right here. We figure go out here and play our brand of football. Okay? Look around. That's all we got, and that's all we need. All right? We're a family in this thing. We come out of here fast and physical. Pad level and poise. That's all that matters. Pad level and poise. It's going to be 4 quarters. It's going to be 4 quarters, and it's going to be some pads popping. It's about us. It's about us. You have worked for this moment. Now go earn it.
Notre Dame's going to take it on offense to begin. Hey, they're the Fighting Irish. Let's give them a fight. Let's get it on.
And the kick is away, and the kick is good. Notre Dame on the board first. It's the Irish 3, and Georgia nothing. Wobbler going to come down to Fink at the 35, and he is blasted by Mecole Hardman, one of the gunners. Hand off to Chubb got a big hole this side. Chubb 25-30, 35-40, gives a man a move, but he gets his legs and drags him down at the 50-yard line. And Godwin goes up. Did he bring it down? You bet he did. For a 26.5-yard try, right between the hash marks, middle of the field, right in front of the goalpost. He punches it high and into the net. It's good. And the Dogs have tied it. Shotgun, Sony Michel in the backfield. Three receivers in tight to the left. Fromm will throw to the right. He fades it into the right corner. One-handed grab. Did he catch it? Oh, man. Incomplete. My goodness gracious. And it was ruled incomplete. Are they going to take a look at it?
An incomplete pass under further review.
Here comes Matt Austin with the call.
After review, the receiver possessed the ball, got a foot down inbounds. Therefore, we have a touchdown.
Listen to that roar. It's not Sanford Stadium. It's South Bend, Indiana. Handoff to Michel. He's going to run wide open into the end zone. Touchdown in the left corner. Sony Michel. The seas parted again on this left edge, and Sony just glided across the goal line for 6. Comes pressure from the edge. Carter's going to get him. Back on the 35. The ball is loose. Lorenzo got the ball, I think, and the sack. Yeah. Dawgs ball going the other way for the lead. Nizelek to hold. There's the snap, the hold. The kick is in the air, and it is good right into the net. The Dogs with a 1-point lead with 3:34 to play here in South Bend, Indiana. 137 and moving. Snap to Wimbush. Here comes pressure. Oh, we cream it from the backside. The ball is out. There's a pile for it on the 25. He got clobbered from the blind side. Davin Bellamy got the sack, and the ball came out, and it's the Dogs' ball going the other way. Georgia will go into the victory formation. And the Dogs have come to South Bend, Indiana, and painted the Gold Dome red and black. It is Georgia 20 and Notre Dame 19. That is your final from Notre Dame Stadium here in South Bend, Indiana.
Kirby Smart All Access is presented by Georgia's Own Credit Union. It's your future, own it. Also brought to you by AT&T.
You talking about a total team effort. You talking about ebb and flow, right? Games up and down. Nobody ever doubted for 1 second, guys. I'm talking about nobody ever doubted for 1 second. Kept fighting and fighting and fighting. I'm so proud of the way you fought. There's so many things that we can do better. Overcame a lot of adversity. You know how you did that? You did it over the summer. That's when you did it. You do it because of the way you work. Don't ever lose that, guys.
Just going up for a fade ball and being able to make a play for my quarterback. I seen the ball in the air, and with our ball drills that we do as a receiver, I knew that I had to come out with that ball.
It's an awesome feeling. We week in and week out at practice, we're practicing our tails off, coming in each and every day, giving it all, coming together, bonding together each and every day, and it's just an awesome feeling, you know, to be able to put up a performance like that as a defense.
Notre Dame's last 9 possessions, netted them 17 yards.
Wow. A lot of credit goes to Mel Tucker, Glenn Schumann, Kevin Scher, and Trey Scott. Those guys coach their tail off, and those kids play their tails off. I mean, every defensive series, it was like all the defenses out there chopping wood. They were just sending the signal, and they never stopped. Lorenzo Carter, I mean, he played his butt off.
It's a collective effort. I mean, I didn't go out there and do it alone. I have 10 other guys on the field with me, so we're all playing hard. We're all scratching and fighting, clawing, trying to get to the quarterback, and I came free.
It's one of the greatest stadiums for college football in the country. You know, it's a really special place, and Coach Mark told us at the very beginning of the week, you know, there's a lot of tradition and a lot of history with this place, and it was just an amazing experience. So to be able to put the game-winning points up on the board for my team is just one of the greatest honors I could have.
I got one other thing to ask that I want everybody to know about. Rod, would you like to tell the team what I told you on Friday to let them all know?
I'm on scholarship.
Yeah!